All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tyler Gates, aka TAG Lot 205. Coming back with a trade. I told you last night that I would be back if anything happened, and developing as I adequately said last night on my video that Chris Middleton and Kyle Kuzma potential swap was in the works. Now it has come true. The Milwaukee Bucks are trading Chris Middleton to the Washington Wizards. Yeah, it still shocks me. They're trading him for Kyle Kuzma, Patrick Baldwin, and a second round draft pick compensation. Of course, that turns into a possible pick down the line. You look at like a 2030 or something like that. I'm not the biggest fan of this trade for Milwaukee because you're trading a franchise legend, arguably the third greatest player, like I said previously, in Milwaukee Bucks franchise history, right behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Wilt Chamberlain. If not, he's number two. I mean, once again, he brought a championship there. You don't just up and trade a franchise star like this. But once again, Luka Doncic got traded. So pretty much anybody can get traded. And we're seeing that with Chris Middleton, who being traded probably unheard of a year or two ago, right? They had to do this. I think they had to do this to get under the second apron or whatever the CBA rule is. To bring in Kyle Kuzma, you get younger, right? But now you're looking at a potential log jam there, especially with Patrick Baldwin coming in, who is a wing player as well. Just like Kyle Kuzma, now you have Bobby Portis and stuff like that. Are you going to trade Bobby? Once again, this is another person that is getting traded that a fan base loves, similar to Luka Doncic. I'm just saying. I'm not comparing the two, but they're very loved by their fan bases. But it is a business. Once again, it's I would give it a D for Milwaukee. You just once again, I would take Chris Middleton over Kyle Kuzma any day of the week. When healthy, one of the better scorers in the NBA. AJ Johnson, I love that return for the Washington Wizards. So I'm gonna give the Wizards a. I'm gonna give him a B minus. B minus. Actually, no, a B because I'm generous because I love AJ Johnson. He didn't get minutes in Milwaukee. He barely got some minutes, but he showed flashes in those minutes. He's really performed in the G League. Of course, 13 or so points, 14 or so points. Shooting well, not very efficient from the field. On point from three. On point from three to be where he's at. Um, I would even experience or have an experiment rather with Bub Carrington and AJ Johnson being in the backcourt for a few games. I would love for that, experience that. You have Bilal there. You have Keyshawn George. Is Keyshawn George your long term too? I think he is. Unless you draft Dylan Harper, which would be stupid. And I love Dylan Harper, right? What I mean by stupid is the fit. You know, I love Keyshawn George and I love Bub Carrington as that backcourt. But to bring in AJ Johnson, kind of like a reclamation project, but to have two ball dominant guards, it's not always bad. I mean, of course, as a Hawks fan, I'm saying that it's trade DeJounte, but one of them can play off ball, Bub Carrington, and AJ I think can also play off ball as well. But of course, Bub would probably have the ball in his hands more because he's the shot creator, and AJ's more of a slasher. So I would definitely experiment that if I'm the Washington Wizards. For the Milwaukee Bucks, you're trading Chris Middleton. First of all, that's crazy. You're getting back Kyle Kuzma, somebody that's younger, right? You get under the second apron, like I mentioned once before. Once again, it gives you more ammunition now to go make another trade, like a Bobby Portis, like a Pat Connaughton, who's been in rumors. Would you even be willing to trade Brook Lopez? Right? I know he's an expiring deal. If you can get anything back for him, this may look like some form of sabotage, um, just like the Mavericks pulled off with Luka. It may look like this if the Bucks go that way and trade some of those players, and it shows Giannis that hey, I might want to leave. Exit stage right. Honestly. And then we had another trade to counterpart all the trades and stuff like that. But once again, you heard my grades on those two respective teams. I think Khris Middleton is going to be a great veteran for this Wizards team. Great veteran. I would even once again I'm gonna continue to do this. Experiment the Bub Carrington and AJ Johnson backcourt, please, please, please. I beg you. And now we're gonna get on to the. Oh, I actually forgot. I actually forgot. Giannis signed off on this trade, which is very weird. Very weird. You just don't sign off on a trade that sends your best buddy, your best friend, arguably third, second greatest buck of all time, right behind you. You don't do that. It's malpractice, in my opinion. I know it's not Luka type malpractice, but in terms of franchise legend, yes, he's struggling, but we know Khris Middleton can get back and score 22 a game like it's nothing. In my opinion, it's malpractice. Yes, you wanted to get younger. You could have traded Brook Lopez. But that's another conversation for another day. There also was another trade that went down as well. KJ Martin got traded to the Detroit Pistons. This was it's like a smaller trade. Wasn't much. It was a simple trade. KJ Martin and 2 second-round picks to Detroit. Philly is sending a 2027 second rounder via Milwaukee and a 2031 second rounder from Dallas to Detroit and the Pistons. So, what does this mean for the 76ers? They get under this apron. This apron is going to cause a lot of teams. They're getting under the apron, but they're also kind of in sale mode. Don't be surprised about them taking calls on Paul George. Don't be surprised about them taking calls on Joel Embiid also, even though he is the franchise star, and I believe he's still box office when he's healthy. Don't be surprised if they take calls on a Kelly Oubre as well. I know he means so much to that team, and most of all, probably that city now. But don't be surprised. Philly could pivot definitely in the offseason and build around Maxey, build around Jared McCain, build around those guys, build around like Ricky Council and those guys. You know what I mean? Adembana and those guys who are younger on the roster. Um, yeah, just don't be shocked. But this is definitely a sale move from Philadelphia side. I love this move for the Detroit Pistons. You get more energy off that bench. Somebody who's going to come right in and honestly fill the void of Wendell Moore, who I thought Wendell Moore is going to be like a defensive anchor, like a Marcus Smart for their team, alongside Stuart Thompson, right? Um, Once again, it's somebody that's going to come off the bench. It's somebody that's going to do this thing called work hard, right? He's going to do this thing called work hard. So I definitely want that to be the report. Okay. We have a little bit of breaking news here. The Wizards will likely look to flip Khris Middleton in another trade within the next 24 hours. Okay. I was talking about how he was going to be a veteran to Bub Carrington, Alex Sarr, AJ Johnson, who's already probably his rookie, Keyshawn George, Bilal Coulibaly. This is interesting. I would assume that Johnny Davis probably is packaging this deal. If they get a deal done, and they reroute him. So hey, because I'm pretty sure Middleton doesn't want to be on the Wizards, but to be a mentor, and get paid $34 million, I would do it. I would do it. But yeah, if they flip him, they flip him. He's at an all-time low in value right now, so definitely keep an eye on that. Let me know once again down below. What do you guys think about this trade deadline? Do you think it's going to get crazier? Do we see a Jimmy Butler trade? Do we see a Kevin Durant three-teamer? Do we see any of these things go down? Is it possible that the Pelicans will just fire sale and trade everybody that's not named Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Alvarado, or Jordan Hawkins, or Yves Missi, right? Could they possibly trade Zion Williamson, which would be crazy? I think Brandon Ingram's on the verge of probably being traded to my Atlanta Hawks. I would love that. That's been the rumor. That's been the rumor. I would love that for sure. Once again, let me know what you think about my Hawks, please. Let me know what you think they're going to do at the deadline between now and Thursday's 3 p.m. trade deadline. I'm out. Stay live and please stay focused and stay up because it's getting crazy. So keep your phones on. Keep your phones on.